Welcome back to Hi Guys, BDR here, and I'm back with another WWE predictions video. So today's video, obviously, Clash at Paris predictions. This is the last PLE of the Peacock era. From now, after this PLE, you have to go have an ESPN account to go watch WWE stuff. Alright then. As usual, the 5-match card bullshit. Alright then, first match on here, Cena versus Logan Paul. Hype levels 5 out of 10. For Cena's Cena only has what, 9 appearances left. And he's gonna be fighting Logan Paul instead of should be fighting Dominic, AJ, Penta, Jacob Fatu, Roman. Just there's no time for that. It's just Cena only has about what, 4 or 5 PLE matches left, and one of them's being used on Logan Paul. How I see the match happening, obviously, high flying stuff. We're gonna see Logan's usual frog splash to the announce table. Cena's gonna position Logan for the AA. Logan's feet are gonna hit the ref. Cena hits the AA. There's no ref. Brock Lesnar's just gonna jump out of nowhere, F5 Cena, probably F5 Logan Paul, and then drag Logan Paul to the basically destroyed Cena. Referee's gonna do the slow beating up. 1, 2, 3 while the crowd is booing. And yeah, Logan Paul is gonna win. This match, who would have thought Cena versus Logan Paul happening, and then Cena doesn't. Logan Paul's winning, folks. The Cena retirement run has just been completely disappointing outside of 2 matches. Alright then, let's move on to the next match. Alright then, next match we have Becky Lynch versus Nikki Bella. Hype levels for this match, 2.5 out of 10. I don't really care. I don't care for this match all that much because it's just Nikki Bella in big 2025. It's kind of like looking at current Paul George. It's yeah, you were great in the 2010s, but we're not in the 2010s anymore. It's Nikki Bella getting a title shot out of thin air. It's just really shows us damn, they have no one else in that Raw women's locker room to fight Becky. What a shame. Hopefully after this we can probably get Io versus Becky for the IC title, or Becky versus Rhea for the IC title. I have Becky Lynch winning. Probably gonna just referee's distraction. Grand man slam. Probably a couple of them to seal the 3 count. And that will be the match. Alright then, let's move on to the next match. Alright then, so we have another match. We have Sheamus versus Rusev, and I believe this is the Donnybrook match, which is basically the UK's version of a street fight. Shillelaghs everywhere, hype levels, 4 out of 10. I mean, I like seeing Sheamus, I like seeing Rusev on the screen, but this should be the last match they have against each other. At least it's going to be watchable, Shillelaghs, probably a table spot. Definitely going to be a hard-hitting match. It's just that, kind of want this to end. Kind of want to see both people move on to different people. Pause. Sheamus hits a broke kick. 1, 2, 3. That's the match. Right then and there. Rusev will probably get some offense, probably a matcha kick. Something like that. Sheamus is in the accolade. Sheamus finds a way to break it. Shillelagh broke kick. 1, 2, 3. Alright then. Let's move on to the next match. Alright. Next we have Roman Reigns, OTC versus Big Bronson Reed, the Tribal Thief. My hype levels for this match, 6 out of 10. Based on what I've seen on last Monday's Raw, that segment, they had a great segment. Not gonna lie, the build up to this match, you could say arguably it's the best build up of this entire card. It's just that Roman Reigns, Bronson Reed, they're definitely gonna have a great hard hitting match. What was it? Tsunamis everywhere, counter, spear. I have Bronson Reed winning though. I could see, Braun Breaker and Heyman interfering, and then Bronson Reed gives Roman 2 to 3 tsunamis to win the match. And then afterwards, Bronson Reed takes another pair and adds to the Shufala. So yeah, Bronson Reed definitely needs to win here. All right, then let's move on to the next match. All right, our main event, most likely. Hopefully it is. It is the Fatal 4-Way between Seth, Yeet Merchant, Punk, and LA Knight for the World Heavyweight title. My hype levels for this match, I would say 6 out of 10. It's just that, Roman Reigns and Bronson Reed kind of have a better build in this match. It's kind of like just thrown together and whatnot. It's pretty obvious that Seth isn't losing his second defense, I should say, my bad. He's not going to lose his second defense at Paris. I predict that like him and Cody Rhodes are going to be your world champions, walking into Mania 42 next year. So that, in order for that to happen, Seth has to hold the belt probably for like a long time. I don't see him losing it, especially here. I mean, it's probably going to be like a great fatal 4-way. You got your high flyers and Punk and Uso, mainly just Uso. I could definitely just see interference, the Bronze, Heyman interfering, and then like someone gets hit with a stomp, and then Seth Rollins pins that person for the 1, 2, 3. I predict that Jey Uso will be taking the pinfall. There are going to be moments where like LA Knight, Punk, and Yeet Man are going to just gang up on Rollins. Probably do. I predict they're going to, all three of them are going to do like a shield power bomb, to Rollins to a table, and then they're just going to gang up on each other. Probably like, everyone gangs up on CM Punk, and then it's just like, yeah. Interference happens. Jay gets hit with the stomp. 1, 2, 3. Rollins retains. So yeah, that's basically been it for my Clash and Perry, predictions video. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, and yeah, hi guys, out.